Hey, it's 135 to beat Miami's new #1 for hip-hop, R&B, and The Breakfast Club. Papa Key for People Matter. Very special guests. And you know me, man. No arrogancy, but there's a few people that I really, really respect in the game. But this gentleman here is definitely one. Majah Hype is in the building.
Facts. What's up? We out here. You know what it is already. What's up?
Talking about that, you know, we were talking before we came in the studio, and I was talking about like how you nail certain impressions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But another one, because what happens, how I know it's really good is when I start sharing it with everybody. It's like you know, you find something, you're like, no, I gotta share with this one.
It's crazy because people be coming up to me and really be thinking like my characters are other people.
Yeah.
Like people will come up to me and be like, yo, you mad funny, but that Ross dude. I'm like, I am the Ross, bro. Okay, but Bobby Buns? I'm like, that's me too. People don't even realize. I mean, they realize it, but it has that effect on them that they feel like it's multiple people.
But that's when you know you're doing something good. You know, when you have something.
Definitely.
But Funkmaster Flex, man, when you had the guy in the studio and Funks was dropping
New
bombs,
York,
wouldn't let him get a shot
Florida,
out.
South Florida, what's up? We out here. And he couldn't get a word out. Cash Guala.
Yes.
Shout out to my brother Commodore, Mr. Commodore on Instagram. Check him out as well. That's my brother, man.
I'm gonna just get a little bit of history from you, Majah Hype. Do you keep it a secret where you're actually from? Because I'm sure it's like it's probably one of the most popular questions.
Definitely. I mean, it's not really a secret. It's more of a purpose than a secret. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows me from doing, you know, the different Caribbean accents and, you know, having different characters from the Caribbean and stuff like that. And one of the main reasons and my main goal was to unify the Caribbean, because I feel like, you know, we all from the same region, but yet we're kind of segregated. When we come to the States and when we go to England and Canada and these places, we're really segregated amongst our own people. And right. I mean, I don't think we do it on purpose. I think we do it because it's a sense of comfortability,
right?
Having somebody to understand you and your culture. But you got to understand that all of these cultures is the same, really and truly.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in Barbados and Grenada, they have cuckoo and flying fish. You know what I'm saying? Or cuckoo and salt fish or whatever. You know what I mean? And in Jamaica, it's the same thing. It's called ton cornmeal, but it's a different name, but it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Even like in St. Lucia, you know, they have roti. They have roti in Barbados. They have roti in Trinidad. I mean, we all share the same heritage from our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like unity is strength, and strength is in numbers. You know what I mean? And we got to bring each other closer together so that we can dominate our market. You know what I'm saying? And,
Absolutely.
And I really want to do that. And the main goal wasn't to keep my nationality disclosed, but I realized that so many people was asking me that, like, yo, where you from? Where you from? And I realized that it was a matter of once again, comfortability.
Right.
If I would have came out and said, yo, I'm Trinidadian, every Trinidadian would have embraced it and would have been like, yo, this is one of us.
He's ours.
You know what I'm saying? And the Jamaicans probably would have been like,
right.
He's not representing me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, instead of me coming out and saying I'm Trinidadian, I'm Jamaican, I'm Guyanese, whatever, I just felt like the importance was the unification of our people. The importance was, you know, building those numbers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because like when you look at, let's say, for example, social media and stuff like that, we have no Caribbean stars that we built that has 1 million followers, bro. You got people like the king of soca, which is Marshall Montana, that has less followers than me.
Right.
You got people like Bounty Killer, which is a landmark in dancehall that has way less than me.
Right.
You have people like Bungie Garland, people like Beanie Man, people, you know what I'm saying? These people don't have 1 million followers, and there's well over, I mean, there's more than 1 million people in Trinidad by itself.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? There's more than 1 million people in Jamaica. There's more than 1 million people across the globe that's Caribbean or have Caribbean.
Or fans of the music.
Exactly.
Even,
you know what I'm saying? And they don't have these followers. And it you know, when we take it to mainstream America, they look at that stuff. They look at why would we invest in you if your own people who you are marketing to don't support you? Why would I put up $1 million to give you, let's say, a special, or to give you, you know, your own TV show or whatever, if we don't feel like we're going to make our money back?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what business is about. When these top people in corporate America or wherever, you know, when they see they don't look at skin color. They don't look at black. They don't look at white. They don't look at Asian. They look at green.
Yeah.
And if it ain't making green, then I'm not invested in it. I don't want no parts of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that we really got to, support each other and really work hard on building that next person, because it opens doors for the next person that's going to be behind it.
Well, you're good as candidate that I see, right now.
Well, man, I'm just here to be proud. I'm just representing for all the Haitians.
and to another part of it too, I would say the reason, and your points were valid, but another part of wanting to know where you were from, at least from my perspective, is that you're so damn good at every accent. It's like, come on, man, you can't be that good at everyone.
I think that's like the main reason for everybody. But I mean, people always try to ask me for an explanation on why I'm so good at nailing these accents, and they be like, "Did you study this? Did you?" And that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's just a gift that God given me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's people that can naturally play an instrument. Like me, for example, I play several instruments.
Wow.
My main instrument is alto saxophone, but people won't know that. You know what I'm saying? And there's people there's kids in the park right now playing basketball that's nicer than Westbrook.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Nicer than Carmelo, but that's just their gift. That's their talent. This is what God has given them. So this is what God has given me. You know what I'm saying? It's not explainable on how I do it or how, you know what I mean? I never really studied it. You know what I mean? It's just something that just came to me naturally. And
So talking about that, because, I mean, as a fellow Caribbean person, I could relate. I came to radio. It's kind of like a similar path.
Right.
I mean, you far more superior than I ever was, but it was a similar path. I started off mocking, is what they used to call it. Mama guy and mocking and all these different things. So even with me being on radio, I used to listen to the radio. I used to listen to Rory Still Love.
Exactly. Of course.
And then that became like a thing for me.
Of course.
How did you start, and when did you know that, boy, I got something?
Well, I was always the person who wanted to make everybody comfortable around me. You know what I'm saying? So if it was a time where if I was speaking to a Trini, I'm speaking Trini. If I'm speaking to a Haitian, I'm going to speak Haitian. If I'm going to speak to a Grenadian, I'm going to speak Grenadian. And it just was the natural thing to do. It's just like learning another language.
Right.
If you're around a bunch of Spanish people, you're going to want to speak Spanish. If you're around a bunch of Haitians, you're going to want to speak Creole. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a comfortability thing. And that's what I used to do. And it was just out of the norm for me. It wasn't like something I was trying to do. It was just like I'm around a Guyanese and I'd be like, hey, what going on, buddy? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, yeah, what going on, buddy? You know what I'm saying? And then if I'm around a Trinidadian, I'll be like, hey, so what's he seeing done?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just naturally flowing that way.
Well, I guess you were fortunate enough, because I understand it as well, because I grew up in Brooklyn.
Right.
And Brooklyn is the melting pot of the Caribbean.
That's the most. I mean,
on my block, I had a guy.
Not even just the Caribbean, but it's just such a diverse city.
Right.
You know, you got Russians, you got Germans, you got everybody in New York City. New York City is that city that everybody just comes to, and I think it starts from home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you in Trinidad, Jamaica, wherever you at, nobody's saying, yo, when I get my visa, I want to go to Colorado. Nobody's saying that, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's like, yo, I want to go to New York.
Right.
The big city with the big buildings and, you know what I'm saying, the lights and, you know what I'm saying? And then you venture out and maybe you want to come to Florida or you want to go to L.A. or you want to go to, Atlanta and those places after you go to the Mecca. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a diverse city that, I mean, it's just naturally everybody's there. So, I mean, you get to witness, and you get exposed to those different things.
So it was a good ground for you to grow into that.
Definitely.
Was there ever a time that you're making fun? Because you make people comfortable. I understand that. But as a comedian or with that comedian spirit, you can also make people uncomfortable with that as well. Yeah. Have you ever taken something too far? Do you remember a situation where you took something a little too far? And
I feel like comedy is comedy, bro. You know what I'm saying? And comedy is supposed to be something that enlightens the mood. You know what I'm saying? Things that most people wouldn't talk about is what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, I've had 1 and 2 followers say, yo, man, how come you always associating we people with this and we people with that? But, I mean, I prey on stereotypes because not every stereotype is real. You know what I'm saying? I know Trini people that don't like carnival, bro.
Right,
They rather leave the country than to be there for carnival. You know what I'm saying? I know some Jamaicans that don't smoke weed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And don't like jerk chicken. You know what I'm saying? But it's stereotypes, and I like to prey on those things and to enlighten people, and not only enlighten people but also educate. I have had so many people come to me like, yo, I didn't even know there was an island called Grenada until I started watching your stuff. I never even knew there was a St. Lucia until I started watching your stuff. So, I mean, and to be able to identify the different accents now.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? People, because when I first came to this country, if you had an accent, you was Jamaican.
Straight up,
I don't care where you was from.
Yeah.
You could have just came out of Piaco to JFK, and you'd be like, excuse me, where you get your luggage and thing? And you'd be like, oh, you're Jamaican.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm from Trinidad. Where's that, in Kingston?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, now it's more that people know, like, listen, this Trinidad and Tobago is a different place than Jamaica, and, you know, Barbados is different from, you know? So it's more, I mean, it's more unified, but it's also different to know that, yo, all right, these is different islands. You know what I'm saying? But we all from the same region as well. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. What would you say is your most popular character that you do? First of all, sorry, you know, because I still want to introduce you to an audience that may not know Majah Hype.
If you don't know, go on Instagram right now, Facebook right now, YouTube right now. You know, MAJAHHYPE. Most people call me Majah, but it's called Caribbean Ebonics. So it's Majah Hype. Check it out right now.
Could you name your characters first and then tell me which one is probably...
It's about 50 of them. We got enough time?
I know, but it's probably more of the popular ones,
all
you know?
Right. The more popular ones is the Ras. Greetings in the name of the Most High King Selassie, the Rastis. I will say fire for that. And then we got Grandpa James. Hey, this is Grandpa James, a.k.a. the so-called commissioner, and if you change the dial, that does piss me off. And then you got Mitzi with us. How was that churn around here? And then we got what's her name that doesn't have a name? Right. Are you dumb? You know what I'm saying? And then we got Hector, of course. Hector and the Happy Hut, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with nobody, Papi. I'm just here to have a good time. No negativity, Papi. When you talk negativity, I just gonna dance in your face like that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's so many different characters, you know what I mean? But those are the ones that's really popping right now. And of course, the Weatherman.
Oh, man.
The Jamaican Weatherman.
So we were talking about that, you know. We were talking about that before we came on air. And I had to tell you that, you know, and you explained that a lot of your audience, they don't understand how you continue to outdo yourself, you know? Right. And I would have to agree with that because the Weatherman, I mean, that was probably the most forwarded skit you've done from me.
Yeah,
you know, and I forwarded quite a few of yours.
And you know, that kind of puts pressure on me because when I just naturally do what I do. But when somebody points it out to you, it's different. Like if I was to say, yo, Keith, when you on Fridays, bro, you top the week. You go hard.
Right.
Now it's in your subconscious that, yo, when Friday, I got to top the rest of the week.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now when people come to me and be like, yo, you always top yourself. Now I got to reinvent myself all the time and really think about, damn, what is going to top the Weatherman now?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, but I try to stay grounded and naturally just be comedic and be funny. You know what I'm saying?
And we talked also about you don't write these skits. You don't. Everything just comes from the top.
I've been in this business for the last 6 years. I've been doing these skits and comparisons of the Caribbean for 6 years now. I think I did it for about a year and a half before I went on the road and started taking up stand-up comedy, which is the main reason why I'm here in Florida
we'll
right
talk
now,
about that,
of course. But I think that when I started doing stand-up comedy, it took it to another level, and I just feel like people always felt like, all right, eventually he's going to burn himself out.
Right.
Eventually he's going to run out of material. And I think that the spontaneous material is the best. I've never sat down and written I've never written a skit. I've never written a comedy joke or a stand-up routine. I've never done that in my life. I just know that there's things that needs to be addressed, and you know, there's things that we talk about that's funny to us.
How was the transition from doing the skits in the comfort of, you know, wherever you are and having the time to, you know, to do that, to actually be in front of a live audience, and how you would because I knew you were gonna do it. It's a natural,
Right.
move, but it's almost like impossible. And hear me out,
Right.
because the expectations of what you can do with editing and with time and
Of
with
course,
stuff
of course.
to actually stand in front of an audience and do that live.
Well, you know what? As a child growing up, and I kid you not, probably like 8, 10 years old, going up into the teens, my family always told me, you need to be on stage. Like, you're naturally funny. You're like, every Thanksgiving, I was that person who, like, used to just have the whole family just dying about certain things. And, I used to mock my grandfather and stuff like that. And everybody just used to be laughing. But at that time, I was really into my music. So I didn't want to do comedy. I was music. But, everybody always told me that. Like, yo, you need to be on stage, bro. Really and truly, you need to be on stage. And, everything that God professed for you is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got plans for other things, this is what he wants you to do, you're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ended up happening. I mean, of course, the first probably 2 months of me traveling and doing stand-up comedy, I was definitely nervous because, I mean, being a public speaker is the most hardest job for me. I feel like that's the hardest job, to be a public speaker. Then to add humor into it and have people laughing for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, it's a job that's filled with a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, these people is here to see me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they here to see me. So I mean, at the end of the day, even if I mess up, they here to see me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I took that into consideration. And at that time I was doing the different. I literally used to bring up every character on stage. So I used to be on stage. People definitely got more than what they bargained for, because I would do a stand-up set of a half hour at that time, and then do 15 minutes of this character, 15 minutes of that character. So I literally used to be on stage for like 2.5 hours. I used to have,
because it was almost like a play, versus
you know what I'm saying?
a stand-up comedy routine.
Exactly.
Right.
And my road manager always used to be like behind the curtain, like, you've been up there for 2 hours now, let's go. And I'm like, nah, bro, I got to get these people what they came to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as the years progress, I mean, of course you get better at what you do, and I do a lot of homework. Like a lot of the people who's doing comedy now or being entertainers on Instagram, if they I mean, there's no such thing as not perfecting your craft. You know what I'm saying? And doing your homework. I watch so many stand-up specials that I'm all comedied out right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I watch, the stuff from the greats like Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, even Mike Epps and Cat Williams, and all the people that has been successful. And I can't name names and not name Dave Chappelle. The GOAT. The GOAT, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I watch all of these specials and critique myself and watch back the stuff that I do and, what I could better myself in and stuff like that. So now when you come to a Majah Hype show, you really seeing the best of what it is, you know what I mean?
Do you see, because I've also seen with your comedy show that you bring other Caribbean comedians with you, is like in the rap game.
Right.
Like, 50 Cent come out, then he come with G-Unit, so it's his team.
Definitely.
Do you have your team? And then aside from your team, who are some young stars that you see in the IG game that are coming up, like Jasmine, maybe?
I definitely have, my proteges and people that's grooming, and that, if I'm getting booked and they ask me for a comedian, I definitely always have one ready. You know what I'm saying? Haitian V is like my protege.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Haitian V is the person who we travel all over the place. We connect. We got a chemistry. You know what I'm saying? He's naturally funny, just like me and stuff like that. And I mean, I have some other people that I'm working with as well. That I see talent in. You know what I mean? On as far as Instagram is concerned, I in September I just had one of the most hardest and biggest milestones of my career, which was I sold out King's Theater in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's big.
You know,
Congratulations
3,200 people in King's Theater on Flatbush Avenue in this big theater. You know, that was like a milestone in the career. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was something that we tried it one year, and the next year we sold it out.
Right.
You know,
and it didn't take you long to do that.
Exactly.
So that's,
you know
so that's a testament.
I mean,
of your growth.
we just basically, you know, where we made our mistakes and how much time we gave ourselves to promote it and stuff like that, and you know, we tweaked it, and the next year it was sold out. So I mean, that was, and the people who I do respect from social media is the people who was on that show.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Just Hilarious, DC Young Fly, you know, just to name a few. Mr. Commodore, you know, those people who's on social media that really takes comedy
seriously.
serious.
Yeah. Majah Hype, you heard me, the Caribbean king of comedy.
Definitely.
Is that a name you're okay with?
I mean, I didn't give myself that name. The people did, so
right.
I'm great with it.
Absolutely. So you are going to be in Pembroke Pines this weekend, this Saturday.
Definitely.
What can the people expect? You know, what can they? You know, people who are trying to figure out, like, all right, what is he going to do? The skits from his Instagram? Is he going to?
I mean, you know, I bring the A game, you know, to the table when I'm doing my shows, and especially, I mean, I've traveled all over the world. I've been to Trinidad, I've been to Bermuda, I've been to Cayman Islands, everywhere you could think of.
You're actually leaving this interview to go somewhere and come back.
Right. I'm going to Bermuda, and then I'll be back here to do the show Saturday.
Right.
But I mean, just expect what you see on Instagram times 10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I mean, there's a point where I just do an hour of just Majah Hype. And then, you know, I bring out the special guests and stuff like that. So I'm usually I like to call myself one of the hardest working stand-up comedians in history, as far as like what's relevant right now. Because I mean, if you go to see Dave Chappelle, you go to see Dave Chappelle, and he'll be on stage for that hour, and he'll get off the stage. But I can't do that because everybody knows me from doing these different characters and stuff like that. So I give them an hour of just Majah Hype, and then give them whatever, you know, of, you know, the Ross, Grandpa James, you know, Mitzi with a Z, Bobby Buns. Depends on how I feel, you know, who's gonna be there. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this tour that we're working on right now is called the No Turning Back tour. You know what I mean? And I named it that because I mean we reached to the point where so many people is acknowledging, you know, the work right now. You know what I'm saying? I've had reposts from Puffy, reposts from French Montana, reposts. I got a repost from somebody who I never expected to repost one of my videos. And that was a Hector video, which was Fred Hammond.
Wow.
The gospel singer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's crazy, bro. when you reach those type of people, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like Fat Joe reposted it, and, you know, so many different people repost my videos and stuff like that. And right now it's at the point where, you know, it's no turning back. Like,
I love it. I wish you continued success. It's been an honor to vibe with you. I'd like for you once again to let people know how they can contact you, connect with you, see the Instagrams, your website, whatever you got, let them know.
Definitely. For bookings, you could call Hype Media and Films office. It's 347-713-4851. Once again, 347-713-4851. Or you could email Majah Hype Jokes, which is MAJAHHYPE Jokes, JOKES, at gmail.com. You could check out the work on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Same name, same spelling, Majah Hype, MAJAHHYPE. And, you know, also check out the movie. We just released the movie on DVD. The movie been out since like January on Vimeo, but we just released the DVD and the Africans got a hold of it, so you could probably get it for $3 somewhere.
Well, hopefully you'll have some for sale on Saturday.
Definitely, definitely. I'm gonna have all kind of merchandise, all kind of T-shirts, everything. But the movie is called Foreign Minds Think Alike. It's a Caribbean comedy, you know, that's fused with the American culture as well. So, you know, you could check that out as well. And this Saturday, come to that show. It's going to be at Pembroke Pines City Center, and it's going to be crazy. Majah Hype live on stage, and you can see a whole bunch of different people on the side of me,
right.
which is actually me.
All the characters.
You know what I'm saying? So this Saturday, come out and enjoy the show, man. South Florida, I'm here. Y'all asked for the show, I'm here. Let's make it happen.
Majah Hype in the building. The Caribbean king of comedy is here.